You saw Christina and Cynthia discussing her situation in the tape, and speaking to your children about cancer is never easy. So we wanted to continue that conversation. So Cynthia is here to talk about it further. Come on out, Cyn. Come in here. Have a seat. I have to start every interview with you like this. I love you.
I love you too.
Love you, love you, love you.
Yes, and we mean it.
And we really do mean it.
Really
like
do.
I was saying to the audience before the show, like, it's not even fake. Everyone here I like. It's real.
It's real.
Good people. I want to go back 12 years to when you were first diagnosed with cancer. You told your girls, little girls at the time, like I just remember them being so young, even at my wedding. They were just little girls.
Yes.
How did you tell them that?
It was the hardest conversation I've ever had in my life. They were 6 and 10, and I was terrified because I wanted this to not be a terrifying experience for them, you know, and as mothers, we protect our children. And we talked a bit a year ago on this show, and I know I didn't talk about my daughters very much because I wasn't ready. I was still a bit raw after another diagnosis, but now I can. So I just wanted it to be an experience for them where it wasn't ladled with misery, because I didn't want this to be a scarring thing for the rest of their lives, that they could pinpoint that moment where everything changed. And it was really concerning for me, and I wanted to show them a more uplifting, positive, resilient kind of way to treat this news, and maybe have that as a life lesson. So I just said to them, look, you know, there's something in my body that's going to make me sick unless I get it out. And I'm going to look really funny while I get it out of my body. So that's sort of how we did it. And I was recently divorced, so I had a bevy of girlfriends that came, and we made it fun, and we made it a girls thing, and I showed them community. And my daughter, my youngest, the first time I went to chemo, she was at the door with me, and a couple girlfriends were there, and she couldn't come to the hospital, of course, and she gave me her tiara and said, "Mommy, wear this tiara for me, because you'll sparkle." And I wore a tiara every single time. And it's interesting because a little while ago I said to them, "What do you remember of those days?" And they said, Hillary said, "I remember the tiara, Mom. You wore the tiara and you made it fun for us. I don't remember it being a sad time, but I do remember sometimes you not feeling well and you would lie in bed more than normal."
Oh. Okay, I'm going to talk about when the cancer came back, but at first I want to just say the burden on a parent.
Yes.
Maybe you don't see it as a burden, but you're already dealing with, at the time, divorce, cancer, and I'm responsible for these kids and not to have them traumatized.
Yes.
Is that the sort of thing that focuses you or just makes things harder?
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, both.
Yeah.
I remember taking them to swimming lessons, and I would sit there and I would watch them and I would think, I have to be there for them. Like, I have to be here to help them grow, and I can't leave them, right? That is a massive fear for a mother. Yeah. And it doesn't change. I mean, fast forward 12 years, and it's still, you want to protect them, right?
Well, I want to talk about what's happening now with your daughters, because we are fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Your daughters now are much older. Now, what is the conversation like now about the cancer coming back?
Well, I realized I have had to adjust because I was still treating it like they were 6 and 10.
Yes.
Right? And it's hard to get out of that mode because they're still your babies, right? No matter what. So initially I didn't tell them. I waited because I found out 2 days before Christmas and I couldn't tell them. Just before Christmas. I couldn't do that. And then I thought, well, I'm going to wait until I have like, we knew it was back, but we didn't know what that looked like and what the treatment was going to be. So I waited a couple of months until I knew for sure. And then I broke the news. Now, it didn't come out of the blue. They knew I had been going for tests, and I said, listen, I've got to go for a couple more. And, you know, they saw something they're not 100% happy with. So they knew that process, so I didn't hit them cold with it. But I admit I put a shiny little bow on it, and I didn't tell them everything.
Yeah.
You know, stage 4 is scary, right? And so I only recently realized I wasn't telling them enough. And we sat down and we had a conversation about what should I tell you? And they both said to me, Mom, you're not giving us enough information. I mean, they're 22 and 19 now. We want to know more.
Yeah.
So I told them more.
Yeah.
And they have a better understanding, but I'll be honest, like I haven't told them the grimmest part that could happen. I've told them the best part that can happen.
Yeah.
But they know that if the treatment that I'm on isn't working or stops working, then I'm in trouble.
They're smart girls.
They're smart girls.
They're smart girls. They're gonna figure it out.
But can I give you some news?
Yeah,
okay.
give me some news.
Okay, I've got great news.
Give me some good news.
Okay, I just got a CT scan results yesterday.
Yeah.
So I have 2 spots in my liver, and they were always very small. I caught it very early. I'm so lucky. I'm the luckiest person in the world. Okay, I've been on a clinical trial.
Yes.
They're barely visible. They can't measure
shrinking.
them. They have shrunk so much they can't measure them. Like, honestly,
The best news. The best news.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. So I hope that gives hope to anybody going through this. Like, the research is working, and we are getting better and better medications all the time and treatments.
Beautiful. And there's no wrong way to tell your kids, is there? Is there a wrong way?
No, because everybody has their own way, right?
And everyone knows their kids, that your kids are different, right?
And you have to adjust, and you have to adjust depending on their age and everything else. So can I tell you one more story about how we have fun? So remember how Hillary got my tiara? Okay. My daughter got me this for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I keep my chemo in it. Oh. Because if you're gonna have chemo, it should sparkle.
It should sparkle!
Just like a tiara. But I love this, right?
Words to live by.
You know, you have to find your way and your moments and still find the beauty in the middle of all of it.
And all the stuff. Thank you so much. The best news. I love that.